Gridmaster is Jagex's answer to no League 6 in 2025, and I can't blame them for trying to come up with something fresh. League 5 was arguably the best league we had in old school RuneScape, and with everything going on with the new sailing skill release, they would have been hard pressed to come out with a fresh idea for League 6 this year. So let's talk all things Gridmaster, a Leagues inspired bingo event, what we can expect, and speculate so far. Gridmaster launches on October the 15th, and it will be a 4-week long event hosted on exclusive worlds just like the League, fresh Iron Man accounts with boosted experience rates. The goal is to complete as much of this 7x7 grid as possible, and each one of these tiles here will be filled with a random task to complete. While we don't actually know for sure what these tasks are, the trailer does give us some potential teasers, like winning a game of Gnome Ball, getting a fire cape, all the way up to defeating an awakened Desert Treasure 2 boss. I personally don't think that all of the examples given in the teaser trailer will materialize as real tasks, or at least I don't think they're going to be as straightforward as you might think. So rather than just get a fire cape, it might be complete the fight caves in under an hour. After all, it's a 4-week long temporary game mode, and with only 49 tiles to complete, there's got to be some serious scaling in difficulty. We might not have to wait much longer to find out the flavor of these grid tiles, as Jagex have said they're going to slowly drip feed us some of the tile reveals in the build up to the event. I think it'll work a lot like League's relic reveals. You know, we'll get some of them, we'll get excited about the real hype ones, and then there'll be quite a few that are kept under wraps until maybe the day before the launch. Now, the real exciting part of Gridmaster, in my opinion, is when you complete a task or bingo tile, whatever you want to call it, you'll be rewarded with a boost to your gameplay. The examples here are quite vague. You could get a League relic or completion of a whole quest line. We'll get into the relics and what I'm going to speculate may come back from Leagues, but quest lines is something that's been done time and time again. We can expect options like auto completion of the Mayaku quest line, up to Sinners of the Father, unlocking Theatre of Blood, Blood Shards, quicker access to other PvM activities. There's the Elf quest line, granting immediate access to Zulrah and all of the content in Prith. The Monkey questline for Zenite shards and great combat training methods with maniacal monkeys. The Desert questline for Ancient Magics, Tombs of Amascut and Desert Treasure 2. The Dragon Slayer questline, and more recently, following its big expansion, we may now see a new questline auto-completion option for the Varlamore questline, granting immediate access to things like Perilous Moons and the Doom. It's anyone's guess as to whether this will be a universal unlock of a specific questline or whether you'll be given a choice similar to Deadman mode. And personally, I'd like to see the latter, because given that Gridmaster is all about strategizing and choosing how you want to go about completing the grid, my hopes are that Jagex have designed it in a way that gives players a bit of freedom to choose which quest lines grant them certain access to completing grid tiles. We'll have to wait and see for that one. Okay, now for the spicy stuff, the League's elements. We know that unlocking a tile might possibly give a League relic of old, but completing a whole line, vertical, horizontal, or diagonal, will grant an even more powerful upgrade. And for this, I'm thinking old tier 7 and 8 relics. Echo items from Leagues 5. This is what I'm most excited about, because by no means are we only talking about Leagues 5, but relics and unlocks from any league could make a return. There are some relics I think are a given. Gathering relics that boost things like fishing, woodcutting and mining, and production relics that boost crafting, smithing, herb lore, fletching and cooking are things that shouldn't speed up the completion of these grid tiles too much, but will be a really nice quality of life buff. Similarly, I wouldn't be surprised to see teleport or utility relics come back, things that speed up your travel around the game. Now, they're just some examples of things that I might expect to see behind a singular, relatively difficult grid tile completion. So these ones are likely to be unlocked passively as you go around ticking things off. But we know Jagex, and we know that they like to have strategy at the heart of these temporary game modes. So the big ticket items are going to be locked behind those full line completions. Now, what can we speculate when it comes to this? I'm going to come on record and make a prediction here. You know, we can come back and laugh at me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're going to see Total Recall or Banker's Note come back. These two relics alone would make it almost too easy to complete almost any content in the game, particularly Banker's Note. You could just have Banker's Note and steamroll anything in the game without any sort of combat buff. But here are 2 Leagues 5 items I think may make a comeback. The Thunder Khopesh was probably the most hyped up Leagues 5 Echo item, and for a good reason. It was just straight broken. Bye, Jad. Good to see you, lad. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a reward after completing maybe multiple lines. And the same goes for my other absolute favorite League item, the Sunlight Spear. I know, I sound like a broken record the amount I glaze this thing, but seriously, the most fun Leagues build period was a prayer-based build centered around this item. And something that was in Leagues 4 that, don't get me wrong, was overpowered, but maybe slightly less so than those previous 2, was the Executioner's Axe, allowing you to execute targets under a certain HP threshold. Now really it's anyone's guess as to what Jagex are referring to when they say Leagues items. It could even just be something far more underwhelming, like the Arcane Grimoire, an item that allowed you to swap spellbooks at will and unlock all spellbooks and prayers in the game. But I'm really hoping we'll see the return of some Echo items here. There's a little too much speculating we can do at this stage with very little evidence, but Gridmaster feels like the perfect event to hit those Leagues dopamine receptors without having to either wait another year or play RuneScape Leagues, which, you know what, I'm not gonna shit on it. I tried to play it a little bit. These are fucking horrible. I tried. Just like Leagues though, we'll be getting some cosmetic rewards. And although this isn't really what I tend to play Leagues for, some of you guys might be interested. There's a tabard, which I'm not too hot on its design to be honest, but I am a big fan of this grid swords and emblem cosmetic. Love that. And you'll be able to design the chapel in your player-owned house to look like the login screen, which, I mean, really, they should have made it so that you had like a button to press and then it would just play that obnoxious login screen music at 100% volume for any player in your house. That would be brilliant. The last thing I want to say on this Gridmaster event is that it is designed to be a bit of an experiment for the bingo system. If you've ever taken part in bingo in an old school RuneScape clan or community, then you'll know how much fun this is, but without the tools being built into the game, it is a bit of a nightmare to manage. So I'm very excited to see how this looks built into the client and what that might mean for future community-led bingo events. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited for with Gridmaster, and you can expect the usual event build-up right here on my channel, so subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the speculation and strategizing as we close in on this brand new event. So until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you real soon.